Welcome, everybody, to another Thought Leadership Thursday by BAKERpedia. I'm your host today, Mark Florka, and I also host BAKERpedia's Baked in Science podcast. Today we have with us Evan Reyes of Goodway Technologies. Goodway, for over 60 years, has engineered and manufactured innovative maintenance solutions trusted by professionals in food and beverage production, industrial manufacturing, commercial HVAC, facility operations, and energy generation. Their mission is simple: deliver tools and systems that make your maintenance tasks easier, faster, safer, and more effective. Our guest today, as I said, is Evan Reyes. Welcome, Evan. How are you doing today?
Oh, doing great, Mark. Thanks so much for having me.
Fantastic. Evan, tell us a little bit about your background and what you do for Goodway.
Yeah, Mark. So I've been with Goodway 15 years.
Wow.
For the first 12, 13 years, my job was just to be in the field visiting bakeries and food plants to help them strengthen their sanitation programs.
Oh, that's
So,
excellent.
yeah. Yeah.
So
So just,
real hands-on bakery experience here, right?
oh, yeah, 100%. I've been to many, many bakeries and kind of
I
seen a
thought
little bit of everything.
I thought you were going to say scrubbing floors and washing pots and pans, right? First. No, I'm just
Sometimes.
kidding. That's like for me in my apprenticeship, that was basically what I did for 6 months, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
For me, it was a lot of hands-on demonstrations in bakeries doing exactly that. So,
and
uh,
so, having said that, and with the introduction, Goodway is not new to the scene of maintenance. So, can you tell us a little bit about the history there?
Yeah, absolutely. So the company's been around 60 years now, like you mentioned.
Mhm.
We started off early on in the 70s as a company that specialized in the maintenance of chiller systems and boiler systems with unique tube cleaning systems that clean the tubes and those out. Then over the years, we just kind of grew our product line. And I'd say about 25 years ago, we really got into the food industry, starting off with a line of industrial vacuums and then maybe 15 years ago with the industrial steam cleaning equipment and sanitizing systems and belt cleaning systems. And we've just every year broadened our horizons a little bit, bringing on new products and introducing new technologies and tools that could be useful for cleaning in bakeries.
That's cool. And so that leads me to thinking now, it kind of is that, as we talked about just briefly in your introduction, that you've got a lot of bakery specific, kind of hands-on, we'll call it, experience, but with all of the other industrial and food manufacturing stuff that you guys do, you can bring a lot of different ideas into play that maybe aren't necessarily always the first thing that a bakery is going to think about.
Yeah, absolutely. We end up, a lot of the different disciplines within the food industry do cross over in some of the challenges they have with yeast and mold or dry cleaning. And we're able to kind of cross-pollinate ideas between different industries, which is really fun.
That's cool. And so you have ideas or you have solutions available for everything like mixers, dividers, molders, sheeters. Like, do you have solutions with these kinds of things?
Absolutely. So it's funny. We just did a presentation this morning for one of our biggest customers in the baking industry, and we went through a presentation of the equipment and tools that are best for each area of the process, starting in
Hmm.
the silo ingredients to mixing, dough forming, to proofing, to baking, to depanning, to cooling, and then slicing, packaging. And we've really got tools and attachments targeted to help in each of those specific processes, as well as the environment and environmental cleaning, floors, walls, overheads, catwalks, things like that. So really wide variety of cleaning solutions available. More specifically for cleaning out around dough forming machines,
Uh-huh.
we do specialized dry steam cleaning equipment that really helps for deep cleaning in hard to reach areas. We have unique tools and attachments with steam, with scraper blades that is really nice, with FDA approved materials, really nice for steam cleaning dough off of food contact surfaces.
Hmm. Hmm.
We have spinner attachments for floors and cleaning conveyors and different things that really help a bakery to take that cleaning to the next level.
So you have things that will clean like belts and chains and cooling and freezing towers and things like that?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. So we specialize in cleaning all those applications, belts, chains, without introducing water into the environment. So our steam cleaning technology, it's a very low moisture, so we're able to clean belts right in place without removing them, take
Okay.
yeast and mold counts down, and introduce no water in the environment so we don't introduce a micro load or potential for yeast and mold to grow in the future. So really nice technology and solutions for bakeries because we allow you to do the deep cleaning without all the water.
And so that really helps minimize any downtime. I mean, like it's like obviously the freezer can't be running while you're cleaning it, right? I mean, or how do you sort of facilitate that?
Yeah, absolutely. So it does minimize downtime. We still do need, if it is like a blast freezer or something
Mm-hmm.
like that, we still need to thaw it out. If it's just a regular cooler or ambient or cooler, we don't need to wait. We could just go ahead and clean it. The nice thing is when we're steam cleaning, we're able to clean the belt. We leave just dry debris on the floor, and then there's no drying time required. So we don't need to wait 6 hours, 8 hours, 10 hours for the system to dry. It's immediately dry and ready for production. So we really take that downtime window and shrink it significantly. We don't
Mm-hmm.
have to worry about managing wastewater, sending it towards a drain with squeegees and things like that. So it's a much faster, more effective cleaning and uh, allows our customers to make safer products.
Okay, so before we get into the Steam, I want to first also like address you have like mobile application units and fixed units. So give us a little bit of the pros and cons and how that works, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So our portable systems are nice because you could take them around from one belt to another, and we can clean in many different applications. It's economical. As long as we have downtime, one machine could do many jobs, which is nice. We do have some fix and place systems that can clean belts, solid belts during production, which has become more popular for us. Everyone is looking for ways to save on downtime, save on labor, and being able to keep belts clean during production really helps to check a lot of boxes for our customers. It allows them to run longer. It allows them to keep the line clean with less people kind of scrubbing and brushing and things
Mm-hmm.
like that. So definitely it's become more popular these days.
So if you're I guess, and that's my interpretation a little bit here is that if you're a bigger plant that is focusing on one type of run line or something like that, or a very have several very busy lines, that a fixed in place, cleaning system that can clean during production is probably going to be a huge advantage to you. And if you're a little bit more versatile type of bakery with variety of different belts and applications, that you might want something that while one product is running on that line, the other line's down and you can move the mobile unit over there to do the cleaning on that line, right? I mean, is
Exactly.
that kind of like a fair sort of assessment?
Yeah, it's a perfect assessment, Mark.
Mhm.
Yeah, we definitely find that the larger facilities are the ones that really take the most advantage. If they're running 24/7, if they're capacity constrained, then
Mhm.
they really benefit from the cleaning systems that clean during production.
That's
100.
cool. Yeah, yeah. I mean, I can remember that sometimes in some places it would be like they'd have to take everything down for a whole day to do cleaning, which ended up being then that they really, instead of cleaning weekly, they ended up only cleaning once a month because of all of this downtime.
Right.
And that often was then, we'd start to see stuff on the codes towards the end of the month is the stuff that was not having as great a shelf life as everything else, right? I mean, it stands to reason. It's amazing. People, I think, oversee or overlook how quickly these things accumulated over time and stuff, right? And so now I wanted to touch on, you've mentioned the dry steam a few times, and so that's often something that gets debated. So, like, do you have wet steam versus dry steam, and do you use any chemicals or dry ice or anything like that? Right?
Yeah, so wet steam versus dry steam, we actually provide both technologies. So our dry steam is, if you think of a tea kettle and that whistling, really dry steam that comes out of a top.
Mm-hmm.
That would be what dry steam looks like. And we take that and we do it on a more industrial scale to give you enough steam that's useful for cleaning. We're
Mm-hmm.
able to clean equipment off without having any water dripping down to the floor, without sending water down the drain and that kind of thing. So it's a low moisture, not 100% dry, only
Mm-hmm.
5% moisture content.
But
We also
it's
do
so hot that it essentially evaporates after contact. Is that?
exactly. So inside the boiler, we take the pressure and temperature, take the pressure at 145 psi, about 10 bar, and we take that temperature at about 360 Fahrenheit. As we raise the pressure and temperature really high, we compress the water and turn it into a gas. So when that gas comes out of the nozzle, it evaporates very quickly the further you get. So it's a relatively dry steam. It comes out as a gas and it evaporates quickly. Wet steam that we do is more in the neighborhood of 1 to 2 gallons per minute. Gives you more water flow in order
Mm-hmm.
to rinse areas more effectively. Um, the wet steam has certain applications of more around mixers, around dough trows and washrooms. We use it around there, but we wouldn't necessarily use it in other parts of the bakery, especially after the ovens, where we
Mm-hmm.
want to keep a dry environment.
Mm-hmm.
So two tools that serve different purposes in different areas.
Yeah.
Dry ice blasting is another great technology that we offer. That's more for deep cleaning around carbonized buildup
Mm-hmm.
ovens where we have, racks and pans, anywhere where we have carbonized buildup. The dry ice blaster does a really nice job taking it off. Also, proofer grid conveyors in bread bakeries, where kind of the big carousels where the bread is proofing.
Yep.
Cleaning that chain underneath with the dry ice blaster is a really powerful tool. It's able to get that conveyor clean without damaging any of the sensitive components that are inside that conveyor that can't get wet. So, just different tools for different areas of the bakery.
I like to really reinforce the whole dry steam thing too, to people understand because we all know that, water boils at 212 Fahrenheit. And I'm so glad you mentioned that you heat it to 360, is that as you compress the steam, it actually gets significantly hotter than the boiling point, right? And it's dry steam, and or as we call it, because it evaporates so quickly, is used in a lot of different things besides cleaning applications. I
Oh
mean,
yeah,
and it's incredibly hot and incredibly fast, right? It's also very energy efficient, is it not?
it is. Yeah, absolutely. The machine uses about for industrial cleaning about 9 kilowatt hours per hour, so very low energy
Yeah.
consumption.
Yeah. That is really cool. That's
Yeah,
like that's almost light bulb territory,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
And so compared to that, now we often hear about bakers who just like to wipe everything down with some solution of vinegar and water or some bleach and things like that. So, um, tell us a bit about the effectiveness of that in terms
Yeah.
of, by comparison, right?
Yeah, so using those methods are fine when you have surfaces that are flat, easy to access, and you can get your hands to every area of the equipment. But as we know, bakeries, hygienic design is not always the first foremost when
Mm-hmm.
equipment is being designed and implemented. So using our tools allows you to get a much more thorough cleaning in hard to reach areas.
Mm-hmm.
So you might use a combination of maybe a more basic cleaning method for a wide flat area, and
Mm-hmm.
then use our technologies in all those intricate areas that are difficult to clean, corners, inside conveyors, areas that you just can't get to by hand. That's really where our technology helps to take it to the next level.
To remind people too is that it's not just what you can see or what you can reach that needs to be cleaned, because if you're not able to clean these other difficult to reach areas, you're leaving bacteria behind that can then become airborne and everything else as well, right? And speaking of airborne, I think one thing that a lot of bakeries tend to overlook is the HVAC, right? The heating, ventilating, and air conditioning solutions and things. So you guys even get involved in that part of things. So share with us a little bit about what you have there for solutions and
Yeah.
effectiveness.
Yeah, so cleaning coils is always a challenge in bakeries. whether it's for process cooling or around spirals or maybe it's somewhere else in the facility. Coils can be very delicate, susceptible to damage, so you really
Mm-hmm.
want to use high pressure to clean them. So we have a line of specialty designed equipment for flushing out coil beds without damaging the small fins on them. It's
Mm-hmm.
enough water flow to penetrate all the way through. Not enough water to really overflow a catch pan, but we have technologies that are designed specifically for deep cleaning coils
Mm-hmm.
without damaging them. So it really allows you to clean those out, um, eliminate any potential contamination that might be hiding in those coils without damaging anything, keeping the system running effectively and clean and making sure that the air is high quality. We've also got smaller vacuums and things that are able to get up onto catwalks or harder to reach coils where maybe
Mm-hmm.
in the ceiling somewhere and they're really tough to access. We have some specialty tools and things to get in there and help clean them out. Um, for boilers and in any bakeries that might have chillers that have tubes in them, we also have specialty cleaning machines for cleaning those out as well. Although I
Wow.
understand most bakeries contract some of that work out. For any bakeries that do that work in house, we have some really cool stuff.
That is excellent. You guys, it seems like you guys think of everything, right? And yeah, I'm also reminded of like the exhaust hood filters, like especially where you have things that are fryers that where there's a lot of deep frying going on, or even lines that have like English muffins and stuff like that, where there's not just steam and air and stuff, but there's also like oil in the air that comes off, and so. Um, do you have anything specialized for that in terms of cleaning these types of filter systems?
We have vacuums that have specialized filters and specialized tools for getting into those areas and
Uh-huh.
cleaning up graphite dust, cleaning out, things that are we don't want employees to breathe and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
HEPA filtered, with dual stages of filtration that are really able to go in and clean those areas. We use Nomex rated filters that are rated for high temperatures. So if the oven isn't 100% cooled off in all areas, and maybe there's a little piece that's a little bit hot over here that might burn a filter, we have flame retardant filters and silicone tools that are designed to go in and clean where maybe the oven is still hot and things like this.
And that's important to know because I think that's another one of those things that people will overlook is that the specialized filters that are needed for this to be able to deal with vacuuming in these hot areas and stuff. So again, minimizing downtime so that we don't have to wait half a day for the oven to cool down and things like that. We can do it while there's still a fair amount of heat going on there. And speaking of industrial vacuums, like you mentioned, you like for vacuuming catwalks and the HVAC ducts and things like that. Do you also have things that any kind of like similar to like a central vac system that bakeries might use? Like, I've seen bakeries where, there's still a fair amount of handwork. Like a lot of these days is that even the commercial sized artisan breads like sourdough breads and that they will have still some bench work where they need to then sweep up flour and stuff. So do you have like a central vac type system that you can offer or provide guidance on and things, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So we have a few options there. We do everything from portable industrial vacuum systems, rated for some of the larger bakeries for Class 2 Div 2 environments where there might be dust, flour present. We have specialized vacuums that are portable that could clean that safely, effectively, tools and
Mm-hmm.
attachments that are designed to be conductive and perfectly safe for those areas. So we have portable systems up to regional and central systems as well. We've been doing more and more regional vacuum systems lately where maybe we're not going to do it for the entire bakery.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we have a larger vacuum system with a tubing network to cover just a specific part of the bakery.
Where there's more
Maybe
dust. Yeah.
just the mixing area, or maybe just the silo room, and
Yeah.
maybe there's some catwalks. We'll leave that vacuum down on the ground level, run some piping up, and have a few drops where an operator can hook a hose up. So that is something we definitely do for those harder to reach areas. It just allows us to bring that suction to the area that's hard to reach, so the operator doesn't have a vacuum on his back or doesn't have a hose around his, shoulder and
Yep.
things like that.
R
So
reminds me of the what they would call the elephant trunks in the laboratories and stuff that would have would be sort of mobile. You could bring it and it'd have like a big dome kind of that you could vacuum things up that way, right?
yeah,
To and so with that so you offer that sense that part of that is sort of dust control is which is important in a bakery too. I mean, you don't want all this dust going into the HVAC and constantly cleaning it every other day.
yeah, we want to, if we're not doing automatic mixing and we're opening up bags and loading them manually, we want to control the dust at the point of source as much as we can. So we do a lot of point source extraction, like you mentioned, with the elephant arms coming down and set them up over an area where we might be doing mixing or loading bags to capture that airborne dust before it gets up in the air system, before it gets on the walls and up in the ceilings.
Hmm.
Try and
Hmm.
contain the dust at the source as much as we can. And we have specialized systems for that. And then whenever we can't, we have the vacuums that help us clean up behind it.
This kind of brings us to, one of my favorite subjects, in terms of where this is all or what this is all for in a preventive sense is like mold and bacterial contamination, preventive protocols, right? So, um, with that, do you have recommendations? Do you provide assistance in setting up like SOPs for bakeries that are, growing very fast and new to this kind of area of things they have to consider?
Absolutely. There's a team of 12 of us that are visiting bakeries and food plants every day, helping to kind of assess the situation, look at their needs, look at what they're doing now, and provide the tools and guidance and support to implement the cleaning technologies into their
Hmm.
sanitation programs. So that's something we're in the field, visit 50 to 100 plants per month, try and
Wow.
help them, strengthen their programs.
Wow, that's a lot of you're a road warrior.
Well, not just me. There's 12 of us, so
Yeah,
we
I know. Still, that's
split
a
it up.
lot to cover, right? I
Yeah.
mean, that's like 4 or 5 each every month, right? That's quite a bit of ground to cover, right? And so, what kind of advice would you give in terms of how to assess like again, I mentioned SOPs, like standard operating procedure, for far as what would be kind of an idea to gauge, like, it's always the matter of an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure, right? So like daily, weekly, monthly, what would be sort of the standards you would recommend, or how do you guys go about reviewing that sort of thing?
We definitely want to, review all our procedures once per year in a more thorough, deliberate way. But in between that, if we notice any issues pop up, it's really important to address them as quickly as possible. If we notice that we're out of spec on quality or shelf life, things like this, to do that root cause analysis and try and bring in folks like myself that could help to take a look and try and determine what that root cause might be, like yourself.
Hmm.
Um, so yeah, I'd say definitely a more thorough annual review and just kind of addressing any issues as they may arise.
That is fabulous. So you guys are not drop the equipment off, collect the check, and see ya, right? It's like you are engaged with your customers, and as I always say, lean on your suppliers. They're there to help you, and because that is good for your business as well, right? In that sense, right? And so to sum it all up in one important phrase or statement, like why is regular cleaning and maintenance so important? Like, what do you have like a mission statement or something that you can share with us?
Sure, yeah. So, our goal as a company is, we're here to help our customers strengthen quality and food safety through the improvement of sanitation by introducing the right cleaning equipment, sanitation equipment,
Hmm.
right applications, and helping our customers working hand to hand together to help them get to that next level. So, you can't have quality and food safety without good sanitation, like you mentioned, at the right frequencies with the right procedures, the right tools and personnel and everything. Otherwise, you can't be out of spec on and those things like shelf life and quality. So
Yeah.
we're really here to help our customers and I'll look forward to the opportunity.
Well, thank you very much for coming on today, Evan. I mean, Goodway is truly a leader in the industry. I know myself, you're the ones that I will most frequently recommend to my contacts and clients when they're having issues or they have a concern. It's like I'd say, like, you got to contact these guys. Look at what they have available, right? Do you have any distributors that maybe you work with who rent some of your equipment for people who may not be ready for a full-time commitment on the equipment or things like that? What exists there? Right.
Yeah, we have many options. If an outright purchase might be too much at the time, we do offer leasing, we offer rent-to-own programs, short-term rentals. So we have flexible options to help meet the various needs of our customers.
That is fantastic. That's
Yeah.
awesome. Yeah. Yeah. Well, thank you once again, Evan. I really appreciate your time. And this has been BakerPedia's Thought Leadership Thursday with Evan Reyes of Goodway Technologies. Thanks, everybody. See you next time.
Thanks, Mark.